5 signs your loved ones are secretly plotting against you. It sounds like a thriller, right? But what if the plot wasn't what you expected? Number 1. Whispers that stop the moment you enter a room. For me, it started a few weeks after my 40th birthday. I'd walk into the kitchen, and my wife, Sarah, and our 2 kids, Lily and Tom, would just go silent. They'd share these quick, nervous glances, then immediately ask me something totally random, like, "Dad, what's the capital of Nebraska?" It felt rehearsed. My stomach would clench every time. What were they hiding? The air in our own home, once so warm and open, suddenly felt thick with secrets. I started to feel like a stranger, an outsider looking in. The worst part was seeing that same secretive look pass between Sarah and my best friend, Mark, when he'd come over. They were all in on it. But what was it? Number 2, your belongings start moving, not just misplacing your keys. I'm talking about my favorite coffee mug, the one I'd had for 20 years, suddenly vanishing from its hook, or my old college sweatshirt, the faded blue one, disappearing from my closet. When I'd ask, everyone would just shrug. "Maybe you left it at the gym, Dad," Lily would say, not quite meeting my eye. It was gaslighting. Pure and simple. They were making me question my own sanity. I'd search the house, my frustration mounting, finding nothing. It felt like they were slowly erasing me, piece by piece, from my own life. I started taking pictures of where I left things, just to prove I wasn't going crazy. The paranoia was setting in, a cold dread that followed me everywhere. Number 3, sudden, unexplained changes in their routine. Sarah, who always hated mornings, started waking up at dawn for a walk. Tom, a certified video game addict, suddenly claimed he was joining a book club that met 3 nights a week. Lily was constantly at the library, even on weekends. When I offered to join Sarah for her walk, she'd panic. "Oh no, it's my me time, honey. You understand." I didn't understand. I'd try calling Tom during his book club, but his phone would go straight to voicemail. It was like they were all living a second life, one that deliberately excluded me. I felt a profound sense of loneliness, like my family was a train pulling out of the station, leaving me standing alone on the platform. Number 4, they become overly interested in your schedule. "So, Dad, you're definitely working late on Thursday, right? Until at least 7? Tom would ask, a little too eagerly. "And your golf game on Saturday is from 9 to 1, for sure," Lily would add. It felt less like casual interest and more like an interrogation. They were tracking my movements, coordinating my absence. My mind raced with terrible possibilities. Were they planning to sell the house? Were they having me committed? The trust I'd spent a lifetime building with them was crumbling into dust. I started giving them vague answers, trying to throw a wrench in their mysterious plans, but it only made them more persistent, their questions more pointed, and the final, most chilling sign: they show you an unsettling amount of affection. After weeks of whispers and weirdness, they suddenly became the perfect family. Sarah would surprise me with my favorite dinner. The kids would hug me for no reason, saying, "We love you, Dad," with an intensity that felt desperate. It wasn't comforting. It was terrifying. It felt like guilt. It felt like a final goodbye. The night before my big surprise, the tension was unbearable. I barely slept, convinced I was about to lose everything I held dear. The next day, they lured me out of the house with a fake emergency call from my friend Mark about a flat tire. My hands trembled on the steering wheel the whole drive over. This was it. The culmination of their plot, when I got to the spot Mark had described, an old, abandoned warehouse district by the docks. He wasn't there. My phone rang. It was Sarah. "Honey, can you come inside the big brick building? We need your help with something." Her voice was shaking. My heart pounded against my ribs. I pushed open the heavy steel door. Bracing for the worst, the inside was dark. I took a step forward, and then the lights flashed on. Surprise! 100 voices screamed at once. The warehouse wasn't empty. It was filled with everyone I had ever known. My parents, my cousins, old friends from college, colleagues from my first job. And in the center, my family, Sarah, Lily, and Tom stood beside a beautifully restored 1967 Ford Mustang, the exact car I had foolishly sold in my 20s and regretted ever since. It was painted a brilliant, gleaming blue. Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she explained. The whispers were planning sessions. The missing items? My old sweatshirt was being used for a color match for the car's paint. My mug was being turned into a gag gift. The new routines. Sarah was taking extra shifts to help pay for it. Tom wasn't at a book club. He was at an auto body shop, learning how to sand and prep the car. Lily was at the library, but she was researching vintage parts online. They were tracking my schedule to make sure they could work on the car without me finding out. The affection wasn't guilt, it was the strain of keeping the biggest, kindest secret of their lives. They hadn't been plotting against me. They had been plotting for me. They saw me turning 40, feeling a little lost, a little nostalgic for my youth, and they poured all their love into a single, breathtaking gesture. The greatest plot I'd ever been a victim of was a conspiracy of love. And in that moment, surrounded by smiling faces, I realized the most important sign isn't one of betrayal, but one you have to look for in yourself, the willingness to trust. Even when it feels like the whole world is whispering behind your back. Thanks for watching. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.